I went to a restaurant called Opaque Dining in the Dark in Santa Monica. I chose this place because when I saw the videos on YouTube, people were knocking things over, having a hard time situating themselves, and yet still enjoying the food. It sounded like a challenge to me. When we got there, we did not really know what to expect. The uncertainty had me really motivated, but at the same time, a little bit anxious. After entering the dining area where it is pitch black, I lost my anxiety and curiosity took over. I was really excited to find what was coming up, envisioning the physical layout as the waitress described it. I wanted to discover this place and its characteristics without using my eyes, dependent on my hearing and touch. I noticed all my other senses were more alert. We sat down at the table and explored the shape and contours with our hands, investigating what was on the table. As the food was served, I did the same thing, using my hands to investigate the shape of the plate and the contents. Even though the chicken was cut in strips, I decided to eat it with my fingers just to avoid the hassle of using the fork and missing my mouth. That's the only thing that I ate with my fingers. The rest of the food I ate with my fork. I loved it because it made me use other senses to recognize the environment. I love adventure, and one more time I got to overcome any anxiety caused by new experiences. For example, my boyfriend and I were wondering at what point we would be able to forget that we were eating in the dark and just have a normal dinner. I do not know exactly how much time it took us to forget that we were living a different experience, but in the end, we did it. We started talking about ourselves and forgot we were dining in the dark. We toasted, relaxed, and had fun. One thing that was interesting was that the next day I told my coworkers about my experience at dining in the dark and how in the end I kind of gave up and ate the chicken with my fingers. I forgot that I was talking to a person from Mexican descent and forgot how they eat. So when I finished telling her about my experience, she told me she eats most of the times with her fingers. So what was a new experience for me was not new for her at all. I went with my boyfriend who is American. I am Colombian. I think we both have a healthy combination of individualism and collectivism, and this reflected on our experience of dining in the dark. We both shared the experience and helped each other. However, we both had our own very distinctive style. As I said, I ended up eating the chicken with my fingers, but he ate with his fork all the time. When I was dining in the dark, I was thinking how the high context of a blind person could differ from my own context. I was thinking that I was motivated because it was a one time experience. How motivated can a blind person be? Also, I was thinking how I did not care if I spilled because nobody could see me. However, a blind person cannot see, but other people can see if he or she spills. That may affect their experience when they are eating, as they might be more careful so they do not make a mess in front of other people. I chose this experience taking into account it would not negatively affect any of my values. For example, when I went to the Buddhist temple with the class last week, I went because it was a required field trip, but I would not have chosen it as my personal experience since it goes against my values. I find uncertainty a great motivator in life. When I was 16 and graduated from high school in Colombia, moving to a new city to attend the university sounded very interesting to me. 6 months after that, I was traveling to Ecuador with people that I did not know. Since that time, I have moved to the US where I have lived for 14 years. I have also traveled throughout the world experiencing different cultures. I have faced the uncertainty and anxiety that comes along with new experiences, but I love the rush that comes after that. Be less self conscious, be more aware of my senses, and enjoy the food more than the physical place. I learned that you should be open to try new things with an open mind. My experience left me with an appreciation for what blind people have to endure daily, but I realized they are capable of a great deal. From now on, I'll be more considerate with blind people, although careful not to be condescending.